En esta segunda parte de la entrevista con David Snyder vamos a hablar de algunas escenas puntuales que me pudo contar. Es muy bueno contando anécdotas de David Snyder y creo que se entretuvo mucho contándolas y recordándolas. Hablamos de el salto de Rutger Hauer, hablamos de algunos errores de continuidad que quizás no muchos se dieron cuenta y hablamos de cómo fue rodar en uno de los puntos turísticos que hoy tiene la ciudad de Los Ángeles, el edificio de Bradbury, que quizás no sabían, pero tuvo algunos detalles, algunas cuestiones referidas a la parte técnica porque parece que Ridley tenía algún que otro capricho.
We now return to Mira a quien encontré with our latest interview.
On the vid phone,
Yeah.
That was all. Sean Young was about 10 feet away from Harrison Ford on a video camera that was fed right into the monitor on the vid phone. Ridley wants it to rain inside the building. Now, this is a landmark building. So he wants it to rain in the building. So I said, okay, well, if he wants it to rain in the building, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
with this. And then I had to build the entrance to Sebastian's apartment inside the Bradbury building so that when he went through the door that we put in the Bradbury building, you would cut to stage 24 where the set was. We got in the Bradbury building and Linda DeSena, who is the principal set decorator, who is a 5-time Academy Award nominee, starting with Star Trek and then Blade Runner and other films. I said, okay, it's going to rain inside the building. And then at 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning we shot there, we had to be completely gone because there was business there,
Yeah.
you know, business, you know. So I tried to figure out what to do, and it's supposed to be like, you know, filthy and dirty and abandoned. So I talked to Linda, and we came up with the idea to go to the landscape company, and they have cork, which landscape to use to throw on the ground, you know, when there's no grass, like crumbled cork. So what we did was we covered all the floors in the Bradbury building with crumbled cork so that in the morning, because it looked like dirt and filth and corrosion, we would just have like 10 people with brooms to sweep the cork away and put it in plastic bags and put it in the truck for the next night, because by then the cork would be dry. And then mop with a, you know, like a dry mop to make the floor so no one would fall down. So to this day, I can't tell you what's in the Bradbury building and what's on the stage.
It's not good enough. Not good as you. I need you, Dex. This is a bad one. The worst yet. I need the old Blade Runner.
I'll give you another example at Union Station and the police station, which was the first day shooting location. So we got there at night, and Ridley said to me, the set is too small. It needs to be bigger. Well, there it is at 8 o'clock at night. There's no carpenter, no crew, just skeleton shooting crew. But we never carried any more than the painter from the art department on the set every day, every night. So I went to the key grip and I said to him, you have to help me. He wants to make the set bigger. So we pulled the set away from the wall, like I think maybe 8 feet, because he couldn't get the camera back far enough to shoot over Bryant's shoulder to Ridley coming in the office. So he went in the grip truck and got a bunch of plywood, and I got the painter to fake it to make it look like the rest of the set. And then we shot it. So the key grip was kind of angry with me, saying, oh, art department not prepared, art department never ready. And I said, no. So within a few more days, the key grip came over to me and said, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize it was going to be like this every day, every night. Like in the cold storage room, which was freezing cold, really freezing cold. I went in there with a device called Hudson Sprayer. and it's like a sprayer that a gardener uses to spray water. And I went in the cold storage room with a crew, and for 3 days we made icicle in the roof. But the funny thing is, if you watch the movie, you see the icicles go up and down and up and down, because when they started filming and brought all the hot lights in,
They melted.
they would start to melt.
Yeah.
So because the film is not in continuity, when they edited it, look close and you'll see icicle, big, small, big, small, big, small.
Joe, if only you could see what I've seen with your eyes.
There was going to be a scene where they jump from one building to the next. You know that scene, it's famous.
Yeah.
So it was going to jump from the Roslyn Hotel to the building next door. And in between was an alley that was maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet.
I can see you. Time to die.
We're up on the roof, and I said to Ridley, okay, I said, well, I guess we can do it. Then the stuntman was there, if we put a net in between the two buildings. And then Ridley said to me, yes, but what if I see the net? And I said, okay. So I got a structural engineer to ask him if we could shoot on the roof of this building. And he said, we cannot put the equipment and the crew on the roof unless we build a new roof on top, to share the load over the structure.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, you know what? Why don't you just let me build the building and we'll put it on the back lot? So they said, okay. So I designed a building that was 20 feet by 20 feet by 20 feet. It was a big cube. And then we went out and photographed the cornice, the big detail of the building. And we built the entire cornice and we put it on wheels so you could move it back and forth very slowly because it weighed, tons. There we were, and Ridley looked through the lens. He said, I want something moving. It's, in the background. So when Harrison Ford runs and jumps, and then when Rutger Hauer runs and jumps, I want motion. So I went and got a bunch of wheels, and I got some plastic, and me and the prop guys were cutting out all these fan blades, and then went to the caterer, food guy, and got paper plates and stapled the paper plates on the fan blades, and then painted them. They got the painter to make rust paint. And then what you see in the movie, and it's one of the most famous shots, at the end of the movie, me and a couple other guys would stand there and then spin the fan blades, and they'd say, okay, action. We spin the fan blades and then run out of the shot, clapper, and then there's Harrison Ford, and there's these amazing fans. Then it came time for, Harrison Ford guy jumped, his double jump. He barely made it. I remember standing there, and when his body hit the wall, it sounded like a big drum, a tambour, Yeah. Boom! And I didn't think he was going to make it, but he made it. Gary Combs. So then it was time for the next night, okay, because that was like one whole night. The next night, Rutger is going to jump. So 6 o'clock at night, the stunt coordinator comes over to me and says, the building is too far away. You have to move the building because the guy can't do the jump. And I said, okay, yes. So I got machinery to move this giant fake building, like inches. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of moving the building, Ridley comes over and he says, what are you doing? What are you doing, mate? And I said, I'm moving the building. He said, what are you doing that for? And I said, because the stunt guy told me to move the building. He said, that ain't no stunt, move it back. So an hour to move the building back. And Rutger Hauer shows up. He says to me, what's going on? I said, I don't know, The stunt coordinator told me to move the building. Ridley came in to move the building back. And, Ridley's the boss. And so I do, what he wants me to do, like I did every day for like a year. And Rutger says to Ridley, what's the problem? He says, the stunt guy, he says it's too far to jump. And Rutger Hauer said, I'll jump. He said, I'll do it. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yeah, okay. So when you see Rutger Hauer jump, not a stunt guy, and the building was moved, he comes running and he jumped.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think he was going to make it,
All those moments will be lost in time.
When we came to shoot that day, there were guys standing here like this, all the guys with the suit and tie from the money people. And they said, okay, look at their clock and say, when the sun comes up, that's it. We're finished. Yay. Finally, we're finished with this movie. So Rutger Hauer had gone to Ridley and he approved to do the speech. And so he did the speech.
Like tears in rain.
As he was doing that, the sun started to come up. So the suit guys are saying, okay, they're finished. Okay, we're going to pull the plug. And then Michael Dealey and Ridley and the first AD and one of the producers came over to me and said, okay, we're not finished with the scene. I said, well, what are you going to do? And they said, we want you to take this set, by the way, that's been there since 1924, the first national Warner Brothers studio, and cut it out of the back lot and move it to the stage where it's dark so we can finish the shot. And I said, okay, not thinking that you weren't allowed to do this. I just said, okay. So we went and we, I guess I got a chainsaw, chainsaw, cutting. So we got the set and put it on a tractor, a forklift, and moving like a giant piece of the Warner Brothers studio permanent set that I took off the set and move it to the stage. And that's how we finished the scene.